A little bit late today. Uh, has some things to do with the kids. Welcome to FNC Raw Undisputed. I'm your host, Matt Krass. Today's Friday. Thank you guys for being patient the last couple of days. I had parent-teacher conferences with the kids' teachers. Uh, well, let's get started. First, let's talk about Tiger Woods. He pled guilty to reckless driving and agreed to enter a diversion program today. Uh, this happened 5 months ago. Well, it resulted in the thing that happened 5 months ago whenever I guess the cops found his car. Found his car damaged a little bit in the front side and found him unconscious in the driver's side seat. They did a toxicology report on him. Came up that he had Dilaudid, Xanax, Ambien, Vicodin, and marijuana in his system. Uh, all in all, I mean, I guess he got kind of freaking lucky. Uh, Reckless driving. I mean, what the fuck, man? For real, like, pays to have money. The judge told him. This is from, I guess, exactly what she said whenever she was sentencing him. This particular plea agreement has no jail time on it. However, if you violate your probation in any significant way, uh, I could revoke your probation and then I could send you to jail for 90 days and with a fine of up to $500. So, I mean, that's pretty severe, I guess, if he does violate 90 days. That would probably be like his first DUI in the range of where his toxicology was at, I guess, where he should have probably been. Uh, he's been in the diversion program, which all that is. That's sort of like a drug rehab program type thing, where you will see a probation officer all the time. I guess you have to go through programs. Part of it was he had to do community service. He had 50 hours of it, which he did complete, but he did it at the Tiger Woods Foundation. Now the person in the Tiger Woods Foundation wouldn't say exactly what he did, which he probably didn't do jack shit. I mean, it's his fucking foundation, so of course he probably didn't do nothing. Like, again, pays to have money. Like, what the fuck, man? Any other person be working at fucking, I don't even know. Like, I never really had to do community service, but I'm sure I've talked to people that had to do it. Guess you can do it at like a Salvation Army type place. You're digging through clothes and shit. Imagine going in the Salvation Army and seeing fucking Tiger Woods there digging through shit. That shit ain't gonna happen. So yeah, I seriously doubt he did anything at his foundation where he had to do his 50 hours community service. He didn't do none of that shit. Now he did have to. He had to go to a victims program, which it's where victims are. They talk about how impaired drivings, I guess, have produced damage in their lives, like if they lost a loved one due to an impaired driver driving. You'd have to go to a class and listen to all these people talk about things like that. Usually, that's pretty much what you normally have to do for a DUI, anyways, I think, in certain states. Uh, I do know that he went to rehab, uh, and this happened, figure, in May 29th of last year. Well, no, of this year, I'm sorry. So, I mean, he did go to rehab right afterwards in July. He did 30 days over there. Uh, I guess it was probably something his lawyer said that would probably look good going into court, that if you did get a rehab. Now, he did say uh, that he took these drugs because he was managing the pain that he had from having his fourth back surgery, and I guess he has insomnia, so which would be for the Ambien, I guess, or whatnot. But I mean, holy hell, he had a cocktail in the system. Vicodin, Dilaudid, Xanax, Ambien, and pot. So, I mean, no wonder the motherfucker was found unconscious in his driver's fucking side seat. And I guess the cops did, like, I mean, they searched around, like, in a 15-mile radius of what he possibly could have hit, and they couldn't find nothing. I mean, no one reported any accidents or whatnot, so what he ran into, who knows. But he did say he was self-medicating. Now, this is the first incident that he's had since 2009, whenever he wrecked his SUV into a tree and a fire hydrant right outside his home in Florida. That would have been on Thanksgiving weekend in 2009. Now, all that led to the revelations that he was having extramarital fucking affairs, which, I mean, guys are crummy, women are crummy too, though. So, I mean, yeah, he cheated, who cares? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you really expect somebody making the money that he does, that he's actually going to not have little groupies on his dick, and he's gonna be faithful. Like, for any like big time celebrity to be faithful to his wife, I think, and vice versa. I mean, for the wife to be faithful to her husband, I mean, depending on the celebrity, I guess they are. I mean, that's, come on now. I mean, we're not stupid. I mean, most celebrities are, if they're married, cheating on their husbands or cheating on their wives. I mean, come on now, give us a break. So it's not like us finding out Tiger Woods had extramarital affairs or this big surprise to anybody. I mean, we're not that retarded. Now, he did have to go to he did put himself in a sex clinic for that. He spent 45 days in a Mississippi clinic for sex addiction. First time I ever heard of a sex addiction clinic, but he found one, and he went there for 45 days, so good for Tiger for getting that help. I mean, that was his wife, the mother of 2 kids, and that kind of was his downfall. I mean, if you look at it, he really kind of went downhill from there after all those things were found out. I mean, his golf game went to shit. I mean, he started getting injured all the time. I'm not going to say the injuries resulted in because he was having affairs, but I mean, again, his mental capacity, he used to be a fucking beast, man, and then you can see like his confidence just went downhill. Like he wasn't the same Tiger Woods that he was before the revelations of him having all those extramarital affairs happened. Like, he was fucking Iceman on the golf course, man, and I don't like golf to begin with, but I mean, golf, he was the man back then, and after all those things came to light, he went downhill, and he really hasn't won too much since. Enough about Tiger Woods. Basically, it shows if you have money, you fucking talk your way out of anything, because, I mean, shit, I think he got one hell of a deal. I mean, now he does have probation now, and they did say with him having those drugs in his system, whenever they did the toxicology, that he would he'd be prone to regular drug tests, I guess, through probation and all that, which that's how it is for any normal probation. I mean, you usually get randomly tested, but also, although they do say random testing, then they might not test. They might test you the first day that you're there and the last day that you're off. So who knows? With it being a celebrity like Tiger Woods, they might try to test him all the time just to try to catch him up on something. So they can get their name in the paper. Oh, probation officer, da da da, gave Tiger Woods a urinalysis, and he came up hot. Now he's going back to jail for 90 days, which I think even if he revokes his probation, he's probably not going to go to jail for 90 days. I mean, it's Tiger Woods. I mean, now we have seen athletes go to jail. I mean, Michael Vick. Actually, he's the only one that I could think of off the top of my head. I mean, Martha Stewart, but she's not a fucking athlete. She was just home interior chick. But oh well. Regardless, I seriously doubt they put him in jail even if he does violate. That and that being said, I'm sure he has prescriptions that say that he can be on certain drugs. So depending on where the fuck he lives at, he might even have a marijuana prescription. So as long as he doesn't do some serious shit like cocaine or something like that, like you can't get a script for coke. But I mean, who knows? Yeah, enough about Tiger. World Series tied 1-1. The Houston coach, AJ Hinch, had gone into an altercation with some trash talking fans over at the Los Angeles hotel after game one. The shouting turned physical, and then cops had to be summoned to break up the altercation. No one was arrested or nothing like that, but that may have helped motivate the Astros to pull off a big, huge game 2 win. Seriously doubt it, 'cause, I mean, it took them in extra innings to fucking do it, but I mean, they did surprisingly take one from Los Angeles. So, I mean, good for them. Now, I mean, they do play tonight at 8:20 first pitch. Right-hander Hugh Darvish pitches against right-hander Lance McCullers Jr. That should be a good battle. Hugh Darvish is just a beast. I mean, he has, oh my god, like the repertoire he has in his pitching fucking shit. I mean, he has more pitches than the catcher has fingers to fucking put down there between his legs. And so he's definitely going to be a beast. And then McCullers ain't a scrub. I mean, he finished off that game against the Yankees. I mean, 24 straight fucking curveballs, man, in that game. I mean, he wasn't even having, he's like, fuck, I'm throwing a curveball every time. Done, 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 man. Just put him down. So, I mean, he's got some stuff behind him. I mean, he's not a nasty fucking type pitcher, but, I mean, if he's on, he's on. So this will be a good matchup. Now, I do think that Darvish is just going to prove to be a little bit too much for this Houston offense. So I do see the Dodgers taking this one and making this a 2-1 series. Now, Houston is undefeated at home, so, I mean, they got to be looking good to themselves. I mean, they got to be like, hey, man, we got 3 games in a row. We can fucking finish this game off in 5. 3 at home. We just took one from Los Angeles, but Astro fans, just calm down. Like, that shit is not going to happen. Like, I can see you maybe dropping 2 out of 3 at home. Like, honestly, like, I mean, now the best thing that could happen was now that game 5, you can either have Keuchel or Vanderlei pitch game 5. So I guess, I mean, there's always something that looks good from that. I mean, Vanderlei, I mean, he looked all right. Or Verlander, I'm sorry. He looked all right, but still, I mean, now they have options going into game 5, and then game 6 you can play Keuchel, and then game 7 you can either play whichever pitcher is hottest. I mean, Morton or McCullers, or you can switch it up a little bit. I mean, who knows? But yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for the Astros to pull this off at home. I do see this series being ended in Los Angeles, whether it be the Astros taking it or the Dodgers taking it. And like I said last week, honestly, both of these teams are good teams, so it wouldn't surprise me if either team won. But I did say that Dodgers was going to win in 5, and I'm going to stay with that prediction. I do say Dodgers in 5, so don't lose no more games, LA, so I don't seem like a douche. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the Astros, if they pull this off. I mean, they're not a bad team. I mean, like I said last week, both of these teams won 100 games in the regular season, and that's hard to do. I mean, it's a long-ass fucking season, but still, if you go down the line, man, it's hard to win 100 games. And this is the first time since 1970 that we've had 2 100-game winners in the World Series against each other. So, I mean, that being said, for 100-game winners, I mean, it's not very often that we get to see 2 of them in the World Series. So, but yeah, tonight should be a good game. Game 3, 8:20, first pitch.
Ravens versus Dolphins last night. Ravens came out and fucking put a beat down on them, 40-0. Flacco took a brutal hit from Kiko Alonso, which knocked Flacco out. I guess Alex Collins said that he had blood coming from his ear, which I did see a highlight earlier, which you could see blood on his finger. I didn't see the blood literally coming out of his ear or whatnot, but he took a big fucking hit. Um, Whether you want to say that was a dirty hit or not, I mean, I've seen it a million times. It did look like he was giving himself up, but again, it's it was and basically what Kiko said at the end of the game. It was a wham bam play. I mean, so by the time he was getting down the slide, I mean, he was already in the air. So I mean, dirty or not, uh, I think it was a good hit. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't want to see it hit on my quarterback, but I can see Kiko getting fined and getting suspended probably for at least 2 games out of all this. Right after that hit, you can see center Ryan Jansen come over, give Kiko a push, and then throw a right hand, knock his helmet off, and then the team just started kind of getting into it. Harbaugh gave Kiko an earful. Kind of looked like Kiko and Harbaugh were going to go at it there for a second, but yeah, after that, the players came out and said, "Hey, man, they took it personal. You fucking put a dirty hit on our quarterback, man. We're coming out." And they said that they made sure that every time that they put a hit on one of the Dolphins, that it was more of a brutal hit than they would normally put on somebody. So, I mean, not whether or not that motivated the Ravens to win. Who knows? I mean, Harbaugh was asked that, and he's like, "Listen, he's like, I don't know if the hit the Flacco motivated the team or not." He's like, "We just executed plays that we normally wouldn't execute," and they definitely executed some plays, man. And they scored 27 points in 33 minutes, man. Like, so basically, after Flacco got knocked out, I mean, they definitely went on a fucking run. I mean, now Flacco did come out and say that he feels a lot better today than he did yesterday, so he's gonna be in. He'll be in concussion protocol for a week. Whether or not he comes back next week, I have no idea. I mean, that protocol is messed up. Basically, what they need you to do, I mean, they put you through tests, and then basically your final test is you get to practice. You practice, and then they see how you're feeling the next day, and then they make a determination on if you're out of the protocol or not. So, I mean, he's being in the protocol. I mean, he's definitely got uh, a few days ago. That and with the game being Thursday, so I mean, he has an extra 3 days to physically get his bearings back. But whenever I seen that hit, I mean, he stuck his finger up in the air. I don't know if he was trying to trigger, "Hey man, I got the first down," or "Hey man, I'm fucked up and had no idea where he was at." But yeah, I mean, he looked like he got fucking rocked. Uh, but yeah, I mean, they definitely went on a roll, man. Like I said, 27 points in 33 minutes. So I mean, who knows if it motivated him or not? But I think teams will know not to fuck with the Ravens quarterback, or they might get an ass beaten 40-0. I mean, that was the Dolphins. I mean, I mean, now without Cutler, I mean, people want to talk shit on Cutler, but Jay had him at a 4-2 record, and now they might be missing him. With some of the fans being like, "Oh, fuck Cutler, da 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 da." We had Matt Moore. Well, you might want Jay Cutler back after yesterday. But yeah, enough about the Ravens. See the Raven thing on my wall. It's my fiance's. I fucking hate the Ravens. Can't stand them. Not as bad as the Eagles, though. But this is an unbiased show, so we'll show love to all the teams, even though 31 of them suck. But yeah, Week 8 predictions. Minnesota and Cleveland. Case Keenum looks good. I mean, he's been studied so far, filling in for Sam Bradford. The defense, I mean, they played fast and aggressive lately, and they have definitely helped this Minnesota team carry them to a record basically of 5-2. I mean, they're at the top of their division right now. Yeah, the Packers don't have Aaron Rodgers, which definitely helps. So, I mean, football is football. It's not like, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that definitely helped the Vikings with Rodgers going out. And, I mean, if their defense can continue to play that the way they're playing, I could see the Vikings definitely winning this division, hands down. I mean, the other teams in the division, they are what they are. I mean, it's the middle of the season. I don't see too many teams catching the Vikings if they can stay on path what they are now. Uh, I mean, the Browns lead the league in takeaways. The Vikings haven't. The Vikings D really hasn't been taking the ball away, but they'll have plenty of opportunities this weekend. Uh, I'm definitely picking the Vikings to beat Cleveland. The next game, Oakland against Buffalo. Buffalo's defense, they've been playing takeaway fucking defense, it seems, the last few weeks. I mean, they're kind of on a roll. I mean, they're looking pretty good. Tyrod's playing bend but not break football. I mean, he'll scramble when he needs to scramble, and with that rushing game between him and LaShawn McCoy, I mean, they're controlling the field. And whenever he needs a big throw, I mean, he seems to be making them. And then the defense, I mean, defense ain't no joke, it seems. I mean, they're not a fucking Jaguars defense, but they've been playing pretty formidable. I mean, better than a lot of the other defenses out there. I mean, they are, I believe, in second place right now. I mean, that whole division right now is very tight. And with Hightower going out for New England, I mean, that might be a hurt case for them and their defense. But again, we'll get into New England here soon. But yeah, every week they seem to be playing better and better. The Raiders, I mean, yeah, they had a nice win. Now it came at the end of regulation, like 5 minutes after regulation. Holy shit, that game was crazy. But they're definitely going to have to do a little bit more for me to have faith in them moving forward. I mean, I know what they were supposed to be at the beginning of the year, but again, a lot of teams are supposed to be a lot of things at the beginning of the year. And Giants are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. They're 1-6, so yeah. But yeah, the Raiders definitely gonna have to string together a couple wins for me to feel comfortable about Carr and Cooper. I need to see them establish their connection a little bit better, and that defense needs to step up a little bit. And maybe you can start this week against the Bills. But as of so far, seeing what I've seen, I'm definitely picking the Bills over the Raiders this week. The next game we have Indy versus Cincy. The Bengals offense, I mean, their line is horrible. I mean, their defense has been getting a little better. I mean, now I say that, and then they just got blown off the field and basically fucking tapped out against the Steelers last week. But if you watch the other games other than last week's, I mean, it seems like the defense is, I mean, they're catching fire a little bit. I mean, now Andy Dalton needs to get his head out of his ass and start fucking playing well, because him and A.J. Green, they have not seemed to be on the same page at all. I mean, they've had some good game connections, I guess, but it's not what we're used to. I mean, they need to have a run game. So with Indianapolis coming in to Cincy, what better of a game to get your shit together, basically, with a shitty team like Indianapolis coming in, because they're one of the worst teams in football right now. Without Andrew Luck, they're nothing. And really, without an offensive line, they're nothing. And their defensive line really ain't shit either. So that shitty offensive line for the Bengals, they should be able to look pretty decent against this defensive line that'll be coming against them. So yeah, I'm picking the Bengals. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Jacoby Brissett, he's not bad. And, I mean, the Bengals defense they look a little susceptible. I mean, even though I just said that they look like they're starting to come alive, I mean, again, that all depends on what that offense does. I mean, if the offense keeps them on the field for a shit ton of fucking minutes, then yeah, any defense that is good is going to crumble. I mean, that is what it is. Next game, we have the Chargers against the Patriots. The Chargers are coming off of a 3 in a row win streak, but they are a West Coast team coming into the East, and it is 1 p.m. game. So usually West Coast teams that come into the East Coast and play early games, they usually don't fare too well. And to boot, they're playing Tom Brady. So Tom Brady is he's fucking Tom Brady. I mean, the guy just seems to win no matter what. I mean, the defense could give up 40 and he could score 41. Like, it's Tom Brady. So, I mean, they're the best team that I could fucking say. Like, you always hear people say the next man up. They're the perfect fucking team to emulate that. Like, it is, I mean, whenever they get an injury, it's next man up. And the fucking Patriots always seem to have 12 wins, 13 wins in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, and Brady makes everybody look better. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Joe Blow from the Pepsi line, first year in football, the water boy, like, he's going to make you look good. I mean, it's Tom Brady, man. See, I'm definitely picking the Patriots to win this game. I do like the Chargers, though, this season, but I just think that this is a bad matchup for them. Then we got the Bears and Saints. Even though the Bears defense, I mean, it looks surprisingly well these last couple games. I mean, last week, I forget his name off the top of my head, Eddie something. But I mean, I know that he was the first player in the league to have a fumble recovery and have an interception over 75 yards. I think they just come up with stats. They pull them out their ass. If something happens, they're like, oh my God, let me go back and see if this ever happened before. And they get people accolades for the stupidest things. I mean, there's 2 good plays, but they just make a lot of these fucking records up. I mean, you know how fucking rare it is to be in the vicinity of a fumble and to return it for a touchdown and then make an interception, like in the same game? I mean, obviously it never happened before because it would have fucking been on the stat line. So this is the first guy that ever done it. So yeah, I mean, he might hold that record for a while. But yeah, Mitch Trubisky definitely hasn't showed that he can do anything other than, I mean, he looks all right, but he doesn't look like a quarterback that can lead this team to victory right now, which he is a rookie, so I'm not expecting much, but I definitely don't think they're going to roll into the Superdome, which is fucking Drew Brees' like, I mean, Brees just puts up phenomenal numbers at home. I mean, he just goes out and beasts out, and this Saints team looks like they see that their window's closing under the Brees era, so they have been playing pretty good lately, and I don't see it quitting this week, so, I mean, I definitely give the victory to the Saints. Then we go on to Atlanta versus the Jets. I mean, the Jets are kind of, I mean, they're a few breaks away from being 5-2. I mean, this ain't a bad Jets team, and whenever you came out at the beginning of the year, you heard things from this division saying about how the Bills and the Jets possibly could be folding in their season, da-da-da-da-da. Well, both teams don't look like they're folding in their season. Josh McCown, he's looked pretty fucking good this year, I mean, and with him being under center, I mean, they have a puncher's chance to win every game. I mean, McCown hasn't looked horrible in any of these games, and like I said, there are a few breaks away from being a 5-2 team and being at the top of that division. I mean, their defense hasn't been horrible, but it hasn't been great. I mean, they're in every game, it seems. I mean, they've been taking the ball away lately. I think the last couple games they've had multiple takeovers, all takeaways, and they're getting Falcons. I mean, the Falcons, I don't know, they're on a 3-game lose streak. I mean, this team definitely, if you look at what they did last year and what they did this year, like, it's a whole fucking night and day thing, man. But I think this will be a close game. And honestly, going down through, I really couldn't pick out a determining factor on who I would pick to win this. So I'm definitely giving it to the Falcons just because I don't see the Falcons losing 4 games in a row. But again, I mean, they kind of match up pretty good on paper with how shitty they both kind of been, but how good they kind of been. I mean, both teams have shown that they're winners, and both teams shown that they're fucking losers. I mean, more so the Jets than anything, but I just don't see Matt Ryan and company dropping 4 games in a row, man. But it wouldn't surprise me either if the Jets won. I mean, because just like I said, the Jets are a few breaks away from being 5-2. Well, the Falcons are a few breaks away from being 0-6. I mean, they're a shitty team. They're not too great either. 49ers versus the Eagles. What can I say? The Eagles have the best record in football right now. Wentz and Ertz they've been tuned in all year. I mean, Ertz is leading the team in catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns. With LeGarrette Blount, I mean, he's not running the top off of the players. I mean, I don't even think he's broke 100 yards yet this year. Honestly, they haven't played anybody, but neither's my team, I guess, if you want to be biased about it. But, yeah. Now, I mean, the same thing being said about West Coast teams traveling. I mean, the 49ers are traveling to the Eagles. So, I mean, now after getting blown off the field, I think the 49ers will play a little bit better. I mean, I can see them making this a game in the first half, but then losing it in the second half. Now it sounds like I'm going to pick the Eagles here to win, but if this was a trap game, which it does seem to be, I would definitely have to go with the Eagles are flying high right now. I mean, definitely flying high. But I can see them falling, so I can see them losing to the 49ers, so I'm picking the 49ers. Panthers against the Bucks. I was watching tape on both of these teams, and both of these teams are just horrible. I mean, it looks at the naked eye that, I mean, Jameis Winston, he has like a 95.6 passer rating. And I mean, that might look good, but it hasn't resulted in any wins at all. I mean, the defense for both of these teams, I don't want to say they're shit, but they're not great. And the offense, I mean, whenever the Bucks got all these players and shit, like everybody thought that the Bucks were just going to run away with this division, and they have not proven that they could do shit. I mean, so if there was any game that was going to be a pick'em game this week, I would definitely say this would be a pick'em game, but only because the Bucks are at home. I'll pick the Bucks. And I mean, they've had 5 turnovers in the last 3 games. The Bucks defense, and Cam Newton, he has been giving away the ball like crazy. Like, I mean, it's October and trick or treat season, so he seems to be giving the ball for like trick or treat. Hey, trick or treat, here's the fucking ball. I mean, so I do see the Bucks making a couple plays in the middle of the game that could probably fucking bend and break Cam Newton's confidence, because once you shake Cam Newton, I mean, he just plays like shit the whole fucking way through. Yeah, so I mean, I can see the Bucks winning just because they're at fucking home. Then you got Houston and the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're giving up the fewest points in the league, which they're the only one team this year has physically topped it for 20 points on them, so they're looking pretty good. Watson, he's looked pretty good too, but I mean, he's going against one hell of a fucking defense in the Seahawks. Seattle's definitely going to have to get their run game going, because if they have Russell Wilson continually running the ball, Houston's defense is going to get them. And they're a pretty fucking strong defense, so I can see him laying some wood on fucking Wilson and laying him out, and that's the last thing the Seahawks want. So they're definitely going to want to run the ball in this game. I feel the team with the less turnovers at the end of this game will be the winner. That being said, the Seahawks are good at protecting the ball and taking the ball away, better than Houston is so far this year. And Deshaun Watson is a rookie. And, I mean, he's not played like a rookie. I mean, he's playing pretty good, but I'll give the edge to the Seahawks this year. Well, this game. Dallas against the Redskins. All I can say is right now the Redskins are banging the fuck up. I mean, they have 3 linemen that are so fucked up right now that they didn't. Well, they have so many people that are banged up that they elected not to even practice on Wednesday. And when the coach was asked about his linemen, the coach was like, "I don't have linemen. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know that we're not practicing on Wednesday because I don't have enough people to get on the practice field." So they fucking cancel practice on Wednesday. So that looks good for Dallas. I mean, they have been running the ball better. It's kind of resembling somewhat of last year. I mean, nothing like it was last year. I mean, shit. But I mean, the pass rush is a lot better, and them going against an offensive line that I can't even say is beat the fuck up. Because I mean, every single player. I mean, Trent Williams is he's contemplating surgery. He's just toughening through it. The one guard has 2 sprained fucking ankles. I mean, and for a big 300-pound guy to be fucking leaned on all game long with 2 fucked up ankles, like, come on now. Their other tackle, he has a sprained MCL. So I mean, and the severity of that MCL sprain, I think it was a tier 2 or whatnot, and most times that takes a player out. So I mean, he's balling through that shit. Their backups are fucked up. So I mean, they have no one on the offensive line that's gonna be anything, and if they do, it's gonna be patchwork at best. So with this Dallas pass rush, they seem to be getting home lately. So I can see them fucking having a big game, and I can see Dallas easily taking this game. Which this is a game that Dallas needs. I mean, if they're going to truly battle the Philadelphia Eagles for the division, it needs to start this week. Because if they lose this week, I don't know. It's looking done. Pittsburgh against the Lions. I guess Martavius Bryant, he got suspended for a game, so I guess they said that last week he was going to be an integral part of the offense, and he got like 3 looks. So I guess he flipped out on social media or whatnot. But Juju Smith-Schuster, he's been looking pretty good lately, so he'll be taking his spot. So I don't think they're going to miss a beat there. And Bell looks like he's back on track now, which I knew was going to take about 4 games because, I mean, he held out all preseason. I mean, mostly all of OTAs and shit for a new contract. So it was definitely going to take him a couple games to get football ready. And these last couple games, it's looking like he's becoming football ready. So that and the Lions they've looked horrible the last couple weeks. So I don't put no stock in the Lions right now. Unless this defense gets multiple scores on the Steelers, I see the Steelers winning this game pretty easily. Then Stafford could be without Golden Tate, and that's going to be a hurt piece because all the other receivers, they haven't been stepping up. So, yeah, I see this being hard for Stafford. See, I'm picking the Steelers for this one. Denver and the Chiefs. Denver started out 2-0, man. They have fucking fell off the map. I don't know what's wrong with them. Well, I mean, I do. It's Trevor Siemian. I mean, Siemian's not a good quarterback. They had a chance to get Romo. I'm not saying that everybody makes fun of Romo, but you know what? Romo is a lot better of a fucking fit than Trevor Siemian. And I think people are starting to see that Siemian is not the answer. I mean, at the end of those first 2 games, I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, Siemian's a game manager, this, that." Well, Siemian obviously is the fucking problem because they haven't won shit, and that good defense that they have left them on the field way too long. I mean, they're better off going to get Tebow from the fucking Mets fucking organization, bringing him back, and having Tebow run because they have no run game. they have no passing game. All they have is a defense that stays on the field way too long. And like I said earlier, you can have the best defense in the world, man, but if that defense is huffing and puffing because they're on the field for 40 minutes of a 60-minute game, I mean, come on, your offense has to do something. And their offense cannot build anything. I mean, they have no run game, like I said. And Trevor Siemian doesn't seem like he can hit fucking any receiver that's open at all, let alone anything on the field. I mean, shit. So, yeah, I definitely see the Chiefs winning this game. I mean, even though the Chiefs' run game is, well, the run defense is susceptible to the run right now, Denver can't run, so I don't see that being a hurt piece for them. And I think the Chiefs will, after losing 2 straight, I think that Andy Reid will, he'll take a step back and he'll see what the hell is working for them first 5 games, and they'll go back to that. So, yeah, I see the Chiefs taking Denver down, which Denver losing, that's probably going to put them down to the bottom of their fucking division, and that's not going to be good for Denver. And the Chiefs kind of need this one because they need to stay afloat at first place after losing 2 games. I mean, 2 in a row. I mean, you lost to Pittsburgh, and then you lost that heartbreaker to fucking the Raiders. So, yeah, they're definitely going to have to get back on track. But yes, I mean, that was the picks for the week. I mean, today was a short show. There's shit that I had to take care of. Like I said, sorry I was late. I was doing things with the kids. I had to bring them to a couple places. Then, yeah, sorry I wasn't on yesterday. I had parent-teacher conferences. But, yeah, I mean, I'll be on tomorrow or Sunday with a special fantasy show. But, yeah, thank you guys for joining me. If you like the show, follow it. If not, what the fuck ever. I don't care. And, yeah, before I go, sponsors, Trivago.com. Same hotel, same places. They search over 1 million websites for you. They'll find the perfect price for you. They'll give you 2 prices for a hotel. And my other sponsor, Mountain Dew, for crisp, refreshing taste after an extreme MMA battle, dirt biking, bike riding, anything like that. Get a nice refreshing, crisp taste of a holy shit, of a Mountain Dew. Do the do. Probably going to get fired from my sponsor for almost dropping Dr. Pepper. Fuck me. All right, but yeah, you guys have a good night. This is FNC Raw Undisputed. Thank you.